close your eyes and step into another time. It's April 10th, 1912. Evening settles gently over the harbour at Southampton. The sky is streaked with lavender and fading gold as the last passengers arrive beneath gas lamps and steam clouds. The air carries the scent of salt, coal smoke, and fresh varnish. Before you, the RMS Titanic rises like a floating city. 4 towering smokestacks framed against the darkening sky. Her hull gleams deep black and white beneath rows of lights strung like stars. The gangway extends like a bridge into another world. You ascend slowly. Each step echoes softly on polished planks, swallowed by the hush of anticipation. Crew members in crisp uniforms nod as you pass, tipping caps, adjusting cuffs, offering silent gestures toward luxury not yet experienced. The deck beneath your feet is wide and warm from the last rays of sun. A steward hands you a folded letter, your sweet assignment, embossed in gold. You do not open it yet. You don't need to. The ship already knows you. You pause at the railing and look out across the sea. It stretches, unbroken and endless, like sleep itself. Calm, silent, waiting. Behind you, polished brass lanterns flicker along the promenade. White wicker chairs sit empty beneath the awnings, waiting for moonlight and whispers. Distantly, a violin tunes inside the first-class lounge. There is no rush. You are not late. Time has slowed for you, not stopped but softened. And as the final gangway lifts and the harbour slips away, you take your first deep breath of ocean air, cool, pure, still, and the voyage begins. You make your way indoors, the cool Atlantic breeze giving way to warmth and candlelight. Through tall, etched glass doors, you step into a hall of polished oak and quiet grandeur. And before you, the grand staircase. It rises and curves like a living sculpture, wrapped in carved wood and crowned by a domed glass ceiling. A crystal chandelier floats above, casting halos of gold across the landing. At the center of the wall, a bronze clock rests between cherubs, their faces serene as if they too are watching time hold its breath. Your hand glides along the banister, smooth and warm. The steps beneath your feet are silent, cushioned by thick carpet, woven in a pattern of roses and anchors. The walls gleam with lacquered panels, their surface rich with depth, as if soaked in centuries of stories. Passengers in tailored coats and evening gowns pass by without hurry. They speak softly, not in whispers, but with reverence, like they know they've entered not just a space, but a memory in motion. You reach the landing and pause. A steward in white gloves offers you a silver tray with a handwritten note. A welcome from the captain, inviting you to rest before dinner or explore the ship as you please. Soft piano music floats in from the nearby lounge. Something slow and familiar, like a lullaby remembered from long ago. You glance up. The chandelier shifts gently as the ship glides forward, its light flickering like a constellation set in motion. Everything here glows, the wood, the crystal, the air, and as you walk deeper into the corridor, time folds inward, and the world beyond this ship begins to disappear. You follow the corridor past oil portraits and candle sconces until a carved oak door opens silently into a room filled with stillness and shadow. The first-class reading room. You step onto a thick blue carpet and breathe in the scent of leather bindings, aged paper, and a hint of beeswax polish. Floor-to-ceiling shelves line the walls, filled with volumes in rich hues, emerald, navy, crimson, gold. Some titles you recognize. Others feel like secrets waiting to be uncovered. Sunset fades behind the tall leaded windows, casting amber light through etched glass. The sea is just beyond, invisible but present, its motion a soft sway beneath your feet. Inside, everything is warm. Plush velvet chairs curve near a glowing fireplace. A grandfather clock ticks softly from the far wall, its hands drifting slowly toward the evening hour. One gentleman reads under a lamp with a fringed shade. Another dozes, chin resting against his cravat, book half open in his lap. You take a seat in a wingback chair near the window. It holds you like a memory, deep, soft, familiar. On the side table, a glass of chamomile tea waits, steam rising gently, as if placed there just moments before. The silence isn't empty, it's alive, filled with quiet thinking, gentle turning pages, the hush of the ship gliding forward into stars. And in this room, wrapped in wood and wool and golden light, there is no destination, only this moment, only this book, only this breath. After the quiet warmth of the reading room, you step back out into the open air, onto the Titanic's promenade deck. Night has fully arrived. The sea stretches endlessly on both sides, dark and smooth as glass. The moon hangs low and full, casting a silver trail across the Atlantic that seems to shimmer directly toward the ship. Stars scatter above, more of them than you've ever seen, sharp and bright, untouched by city light. You walk slowly, your footsteps soft against the wooden boards. The chill of ocean air wraps gently around you, crisp but clean. Your coat sways slightly with the wind. You breathe in deeply, salt, varnish, the faintest scent of burning coal in the distance. The railings glint in the moonlight, brass polished to a mirror. Along the deck, empty deck chairs sit in tidy rows, their striped cushions lit faintly by the overhead sconces. A few passengers stroll like you, speaking in hushed tones, lost in the quiet reverence of the sea. From somewhere below, the low hum of the engines can be felt more than heard. A deep, rhythmic pulse, steady as a heartbeat. You pause at the railing. Far out across the water, nothing moves. No lights, no ships. just the slow, eternal hush of waves beneath moonlight. Above, the stars seem to lean closer. Below, the ship glides without a sound. And for a moment, you are not traveling. You are simply floating, wrapped in sky and sea and soft, eternal night. Later in the evening, after the stars have claimed the sky and the last of the laughter has faded down the corridor, you find yourself wandering toward the first-class dining saloon. The doors are still open, though the room is empty now. The chandeliers are dimmed, the clatter of service has fallen silent, and the vast hall, once filled with voices and violin, now glows with the hush of memory. You step onto the mosaic tile, cool beneath your soles, and glance around. Long white-clothed tables stretch in quiet symmetry beneath a ceiling of painted beams and carved archways. The air is tinged with the ghost of roast meats, citrus, and polished silver. The place feels both grand and intimate, like a cathedral made for conversation. A single candle burns on one of the center tables, forgotten or left behind on purpose. Its flame flickers in rhythm with the motion of the sea. You walk slowly between the chairs, each one slightly pulled out from earlier guests. Crystal glasses glint with leftover droplets. A linen napkin rests neatly folded on a side plate. Nothing has been hurried. Everything is preserved, like a perfect moment set under glass. In the far corner, a steward finishes stacking polished plates. He sees you and offers a soft smile, not surprised to see someone still awake, still wandering. He nods toward the empty chair at the candlelit table. You sit. For a few minutes, nothing happens. You simply breathe. Above you, the candle's light wavers across the ceiling. From beyond the far wall, you hear the faint echo of piano keys being touched. Not a song, not yet. Just the searching notes of someone playing alone, long after the audience has gone. And all at once, the space feels even larger, but not lonely, just peaceful, timeless. Here, in this room once made for toasts and talk and lace-gloved laughter, you find the deepest kind of stillness, not the absence of sound, but the fullness of silence, the kind that feels like a blanket or a blessing. Your journey through the ship leads you down a quieter stairwell, past etched signs and low golden sconces. You follow the warmth, not just in temperature, but in mood, until you arrive at a discreet wooden door marked Turkish Baths. You step inside. It's like entering another world. The chamber hums with moisture and calm. Every surface glows with heat. Ivory tile, inlaid mosaics, copper fixtures polished to a soft luster. The air smells faintly of sandalwood and rosewater, warmed by the breath of the ship's hidden boilers. No chatter, no footfall, only the hush of moving water and the occasional ripple of fabric as an attendant folds a towel or adjusts a lamp. Steam curls through the air like incense, blurring the edges of the room, softening reality. It feels like walking through a memory still forming. A marble bench waits for you beneath a stained glass dome. You sit, and the stone beneath you is warm, like the surface of a sunlit rock after a long day. You lean back, exhale slowly, and feel the heat begin to release something inside you that's been held too tightly for too long. Across the room, a gentle pool shimmers beneath lanterns. No one swims. There's no need. It's not a place to move. It's a place to be, a place to melt. The sound of water dripping into water becomes your rhythm. The scent of warm linen and citrus oil wraps around you like a dream. You are no longer aware of time here. Just sensation, just surrender. The ship continues forward, silent and sure, slicing through the night. But here, in this chamber carved from warmth and silence, you have already arrived, and the sea can wait. Later still, with your limbs heavy and your breath slow, you wander upward through another quiet corridor, drawn now not by direction, but by a sound, a single instrument, low, warm, humming like a voice through silk. The sound leads you to a room of blue and gold, the first-class music room. You pause in the doorway. Pale wallpaper patterned with florals rises toward the coffered ceiling, gilded in soft gold leaf. Velvet settees in shades of sapphire and cream circle the center of the room. And at its heart, a woman sits with her back to you, leaning into a cello that seems not to sing, but to breathe. The music is not for applause. It is not a performance. It is a conversation with silence. A sound that fills the corners of the room like warm light. You take a seat near the window. Beyond the glass, the stars are unmoving. The Atlantic is calm, blanketed in darkness. Inside, the candlelight glows gently against curved wood and polished brass fixtures. Shadows move slowly across the walls like sleeping companions. The musician closes her eyes. Her bow lifts and falls. A phrase repeats, not out of forgetfulness, but devotion. She's not playing to finish, but to stay. A steward passes silently, leaving a glass of water beside you. He doesn't disturb the moment. No one speaks. The music is enough. Your eyes close too, without effort. You feel your heart slowing to match the tempo of the room. And for the first time tonight, you begin to feel like you are dissolving, not disappearing, but merging. With sound, with ship, with sea. Here, in this golden room at the edge of sleep, you are becoming the music itself. Not far from the music room, past a quiet hallway lined with framed maritime paintings, you step into a small glass-enclosed space glowing with late-night stillness. The Veranda Cafe. It feels like a greenhouse built for dreams. The walls are made of tall, curved glass panes, fogged faintly by the cool Atlantic air pressing gently from outside. Overhead, iron beams arc like branches, woven with pale linen and hanging ferns. In the corners, potted palms sway slightly, brushed by the breath of the sea. Only a few lamps are still lit. Their light is soft and gold, reflecting across the floor tiles like pools of honey. You choose a table beside the windows. A two-seater set for no one, perfectly preserved. The porcelain is white and edged in gold. A sugar bowl rests beside a folded linen napkin. A single orchid leans from a vase, not in bloom, but graceful still. Without a word, a steward appears and sets a cup of warm milk and lavender syrup before you. The porcelain clinks faintly against the saucer. Steam rises in slow ribbons. You take a sip. It is warm, floral, and gently sweet. The kind of flavor that feels like memory, or the dream of one. Around you, the ship creaks quietly, almost imperceptibly. Not in distress, but in presence, like a body stretching beneath thick blankets. Outside, the ocean remains invisible, but you can feel its silence pressed against the glass. Not hostile, not wild, just endless, just there. You rest your hand against the marble tabletop, cool, smooth, anchoring. The steward bows and vanishes. The wind lifts slightly, stirring the orchid, brushing your sleeve, reminding you this moment is real. And also, it's already drifting away, like steam, like sleep, like everything the sea keeps. The hour is late now. The ship has grown even quieter, not just in sound, but in energy. The laughter is gone, the music has stilled, and even the ocean seems to hold its breath. You return through a passageway lit by golden wall sconces, their glow flickering faintly against cream-colored paneling and deep green carpet. You walk slowly. The corridor stretches ahead like a hushed hallway in a dream. Each stateroom door is numbered in brass, polished and undisturbed. Behind some, lights are still on, casting gentle bars of light beneath the thresholds. Behind others, darkness and the deep, slow breathing of sleep. Your shoes barely make a sound now. The ship has softened you. At last, you reach your door. The key turns without resistance. The handle clicks softly. You step inside. Your stateroom welcomes you like a well-kept secret. The walls are panelled in maple and mahogany. A small writing desk sits beside the window, its drawer slightly open, revealing parchment and a fountain pen left uncapped, as if someone had been mid-thought. But you have no more thoughts, only feeling. A lamp glows beside the bed, its shade casting soft rings of amber across a woolen blanket folded with care. A carafe of water glistens beside a silver pocket watch, its hands stopped, or perhaps ticking so slowly they no longer matter. You walk toward the bed and let your hand trace the edge. It is firm, inviting, utterly still. On the pillow, a single lavender sprig rests gently, as if placed there just moments ago. You exhale. You are here, and behind you, the door closes with a softness that feels like the final page of a book you didn't want to end.